Hello, I'm James, or XCartDizzy on Twitch, and I'm here today to chat about Rfactor 2. The new online update has just come out, the last week or so that it came out, and it's just absolutely buzzing. There's so many people right now, but why? Why is it so good? Well, first of all, it's a little bit like iRacing, but it's a little bit cheaper. That's my opinion. But second of all, the racing is just fantastic. Now, I thought what we'd do is we're going to have a quick look and see if we can show you how it works and show you how to get on um, onto the candidate basically. So we're here. You've got to click start. So first of all, you need to have gone to properties in Steam, gone to your betas, and changed it to release candidate. There is a little bit of info there for you at the bottom, in the bottom square, I suppose, and that's all about the release candidate and how you can install it and everything. There's also a little bit to the right as well, and that's the BMW. That's just chatting about the BMW M2CS, which you get for free when you sign up for this series. The online stuff. It's pretty simple. All your immediate events, and the next event is always going to be bottom left. Your daily races are just above that. For this particular event here, this is the British Touring Cars, but you have to be a silver driver to take part in these, because these are for intermediate drivers. But we're just going to, you click register, and then you can actually join a practice. The little red block there that says join practice, you can join a practice until the server starts. There's also the Radical Rookies there as well. And that's a good little segue, because those cars are fantastic. And I have a video from those, which I thought I would show you guys today. So this is Radicals at Zandvoort, qualified P3. And yeah, let's see what happens. So we was just sorting out the setup. We kind of joined at the last moment in terms of onto the grid. With about 30 seconds to go, we got on the grid. But we're there now, and we're just waiting for the countdown to run down at the bottom left hand of the screen, and then we'll get going. Now, the key with this car, personally, is that you need to have the clutch in, first gear and then the clutch in, and then just release the clutch when you go. I think some people are changing it from neutral to first when they start, and it doesn't work with this car. So you notice how I'm in first, I'm not revving it completely, and then we go. And it's just a nice bite point, and in first place just gets such a bad launch that we end up in second place. And then we're going to go, we don't go for the inside. What we're going to do there now is try and just hold off the guy behind, because now it's a really important moment to just keep the guy behind. So that's what we did. You see the sparks coming off the front end of the car. These cars run the floor at the dips, and yeah, and the curves as well. They spark away. But this first lap, yep. So the Radicals are fun. You know, they're a good car to drive. They've got plenty of grip. You can hold the slide, if you slide. You have to drive like an absolute lunatic to spin it, I think, because it's like spin it at a high speed. It's a great car. You can see that we're getting close to P1. Already thinking about getting past P1 here now. Keep an eye on the rear view. Looks like we're pulling away from P3 here, so by now we'll have checked. And we'll be looking back and we'll be thinking, well, P3 is now a bit further back than he was. He's got a bit of space. Let's just put some pressure on P1 and see what he does. And he immediately starts making a mistake. It's a little bit all over the road. Trying to second guess where he's going to be next. So yeah, that's the end of lap 1. And it's, as you can see, he runs on the curb there, and he's going to do that throughout the rest of the race. Something that he seems to just keep doing. Not sure why, but there we go. That's lap 1. Move on now to a few laps later. And we're into turn 3, or a few laps later, and he is now struggling. He's all over the road, and we've pulled away from P3 now. Did put us under some pressure, but we managed to pull away. And you can see P1 is just a little bit second guessing everything he does a little bit at the moment. Not entirely sure on. I don't think he's entirely sure on his throttle inputs in certain parts of the corner. But he's keeping it in front, and that's more than what I can do at this current moment. As we go into the back part of the circuit, turn 9, I think this is, and key with this this corner is actually to have the power on the way through, in third rather than what I think we were doing in second. But third seems to work really well through there as we get towards the end of the lap. And you can see P1 locking up there, really struggling to get traction on the way into the corner, breaking loose on the front tyres, and he just starts to get a little bit loose here, but so do I. But I avoid those curves a little bit. I don't completely run on them. P1 is running away. P3 is closing a little bit on us, but P1 decides I'm going to try and look at a bit of a defence. And yeah, get into the next corner. You can see it's breaking loose for me. Even I'm starting to push now, and it's just getting closer and closer. But so is P3. P3 is closing in on me, so the gap is now shrinking between us all. And yeah, it's getting hairy up there. We get towards the end of that lap, and this is where it all starts to kick off. So we come into turn 1. We brake nice and light, and then he just sort of darts back a little bit. So he tried to go for the undercut, which becomes the over, and then back to the under, and there's just nothing there. So we back out. P3 now closes the door really quickly. It starts to close in on us really quickly. So this is my time to now use P1 a little bit, get a bit of a draft, and just keep behind him for as long as possible. Show my intent. We're going to go for a little move down the inside here just to show that we're here, but we do back out a bit sensibly. He touches the grass on the way in, which slows him down, so it ends up being quite equal. And then he goes through there and he just scoops it wide. And I'm very lucky, flex it on the curb there, and I don't end up falling off the circuit. Very easy to do, as you'll see later on. But yeah, P1's defence still mega. P3 closing in on behind us. To the end of that lap now. Just getting the draft from him, just about. P3 doing the same. But got 7 minutes left between the top 3, and the rest of the field isn't that far behind. One mistake from one of us would cost everybody. We go a little bit deep there, just to try and get a better run out of the corner. P1 still very much on the limit of his tyres by the looks of things, and definitely just struggling a little bit with getting the acceleration down out of turns. Again, touches the grass, and he keeps touching the grass here and there, and I think it's just costing half a tenth or thousandths of a second when he does that. P3 closes in upon us. He has a quick look right behind us, but backs out. P1 is getting away now. P3 is fine at the minute. Then P1 touches the rumble strips, and that's it. He's on the grass, and the mindset has to change there and then for me there, because now we're not following someone. Now we have no one to follow. We have to drive away. We have to get away as quick as possible from the guy behind and create a gap, because now we've got no one to give us a tow. We've got no one to help us in a defensive position with braking zones and stuff like that. And so we have to now really start trying to pull away, and he's going to pressurise for the rest of the race. We come down to the next lap, creating that gap, and it is fairly big. But he keeps closing in certain places. I try a wide line, which just doesn't seem to work. He actually catches up to me. And that's that lap. It's a little bit, yeah. On to the next lap. He's still closing. Just managing to get turn 1. Nice. See there. He's closing up on me now. This is the end of that lap. And he's just starting to close up on me, and I know for a fact that he's going to try and go for me on the start finish straight. So I backed him up a little bit there just to give myself a little bit of room, and then just get to the inside of the banking as quick as possible, and then the plan is stay to the inside, use that camber, and then move over to the left and just use some really good defense. That next lap, again, that paid off for us, so he's kept him behind. Paying off now as that lap goes on, and we've got 1 minute left on the counter. All I've got to do is hold off for this next and final lap. Two starts to close in on me here. Just as we get towards the end of the lap, he's going to start to close in. You just get a little bit wrong here, or a little bit slow. He catches up ever so slightly. You get a little bit loose through here. Just on the curve. And we're just a little bit all over the place there. And then into the next one. Up to turn 9. And now he starts to close the door on me. Close the gap on me really, really quickly. And you're going to see now that as you get towards the last of the turns, this is where he thinks, well, I have to make a move. And I respect that. I think this is what makes, you know, these Rfactor 2 lobbies so much fun, is that the drivers are there to race. They're not there to punt other people off. They're there to have a great race and be fair. And there's been so many fair races so far with this, but as we come through the final corners, he's sitting right behind us, so we move around the circuit just as much as we can. I go wide, which actually opens the door for him. And as we come across the line, it is side by side across the line, but it is P1 for me, and it's P2 for him there as well. It was a mega job, and we beat the horn in celebration, because that was really good. That was Dan Neo, really great racing from him. And yeah, that's Rfactor, man. It's been a great experience so far, and I hope you want, if you want to come and see some live footage of these races, come to me on Twitch, xkartdizzy on Twitch. Follow me on there, and you'll be able to see all the live videos that I do on there. Yeah, in the meantime, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.